everybody, it's Jazz. Welcome back to Savvy Social Events. So I have to admit that I could not have planned, organized, and delivered any of the events that I've done without the help of an amazing team of people to make it all happen. I've been fortunate enough to have a group of people that I can really count on to come through and volunteer their time, their expertise, and their energy to making my events happen. And that's something that I'm very grateful for. I like to call those people my tribe because we all have a shared vision and a shared mission towards the events that I plan, which have typically been natural hair, poetry, and artistic-based events. So for event planners like myself, special event planners who do community-wide, open to the public events, it's really important for us to rely heavily on volunteers because a lot of times we have small budgets or we have no budget at all. So in this video, I'm going to talk about how to build your tribe, how to create your tribe if you don't have one, how to maintain them throughout the planning process, and also how to continue to have a relationship with them because more than likely you're going to want to use them again for a future event. So the first thing you want to do if you don't have a tribe already is to start to build your tribe. Depending on the types of events that you're planning, there's always going to be people that are interested in what you are planning, the topic that you're putting out for the community. And so they might be family, friends, co-workers, they might be classmates, they might be church members. You probably know these people because you've been kind of interested in the topic that you're going to plan this event for a while. And so when you meet those people, reach out to them, tell them what you have planned, and ask them if they want to be a part of it. You never know who you're going to meet. One of my biggest supporters who still supports me today, I met her at a coffee shop randomly. I was there planning an event, I was holding a meeting, and I noticed she had locks in her hair. And so I came up to her and I gave her a flyer for my event and asked her if she wanted to come. She wanted to learn a little bit more about it, and she ended up volunteering for that event. And her son designed the Columbus Naturalistas logo, and he also designed the flyer for that event that we held. So you just never know when and where you're going to meet people and how they might end up supporting you in the future. So don't be afraid to ask people to support you. If you meet those people, find the people that are interested in what you're doing, who have your same mission, and simply ask them to be a part of it. Once you have your team together and people are on board, what you want to do is assign people to tasks that are based on their strengths and their interests. One thing that I also like to do is I don't delegate tasks. I simply put them out to my group and ask people who is most interested and willing to complete the task. Because people are more likely to do things that they are interested in and that they know they're going to enjoy. So if they volunteer, they're doing it because it's something that they want to do and they know it's best for them. This is where you really want to know your team because there may be moments where you simply need to assign a task if no one's volunteering for it. You also want to make sure that you communicate often throughout the planning process with your team. Let people know what they can expect before they get on board and during the process. Be clear on what you need from your team, what type of time commitment they can expect, what the specific tasks are, and if there are specific deadlines that you need to have met. Have regular meetings throughout the planning process depending on your time frame. I like to meet once a week because I like to just stay in communication regularly and know immediately if things need to change or if I need to take over a certain role or if there's any issues taking place with some of the tasks. Send meeting notes after every meeting, check in throughout the planning process, and remind people of important deadlines. This is all basic planning skills. You also want to know the communication styles that are best for your team. Some people, I can only reach them through text. Other people respond really quickly to email. Some people I can only get through to them through Facebook. So know what works for your team and what they're going to respond best to so that if anything happens and you need to get a hold of someone quickly, you'll know the best way to reach them. Consider using event planning software. My favorites are Google Drive to share and edit documents, and I also really love Wunderlist, which is a software, free software that you can use to plan tasks, send out reminders, and deadlines. I'll have links for both of those in the description box below. Also, I try not to manage, I try to lead. Leaders inspire their team to do the work that they know is best for them, and they encourage people to develop their skills and to be committed. They are an example of knowledge, communication, commitment, and grace. If you want your team to give you excellence, you first have to show them excellence. It can be difficult to deal with a lot of different people with a lot of different personalities, a lot of different skill sets, a lot of different reasons why they're there at your event helping out. But it's always important to keep a level head even through challenges. If you are facing a challenge, just face it head on. Communicate what the expectation was, how that expectation wasn't met. Come up with a plan and move forward. We're all adults here, and 9 times out of 10, if you meet someone with respect, they'll give you respect in return. Hopefully you won't face too many challenges because you'll use the skills that we just talked about. Your event will run smoothly and your team will be committed. And so after your event, you always want to make sure that you thank your team and let them know that you value their time and their efforts that they gave. You cannot do it all on your own as an event planner, especially for special event planners and community event planners. You're going to use volunteers in the future. So I always give my team a thank you gift, even if it's just a small token, a thank you card and a small gift. And I always like to have a small celebration dinner afterwards. Even if you can't do a dinner, it's really beneficial to at least have a phone call or just meet up for coffee and just get their feedback on how the event went. If they feel like there are some things that could have been done differently. A lot of times your team is going to hear from guests during the event, and they might have some feedback for you from guests, and they always will have great ideas for future events as well. But you want to make sure that you maintain those relationships because you will more than likely be using volunteers again in the future. Finally, you want to remember that at the end of the day, no matter how committed your team is, mistakes are going to happen. And everything is going to come down to you as the event planner. It's up to you to make sure that everything gets done correctly and on time. It all comes down to you. So this is really where you want to use your leadership skills while you're managing your team. I have a video on the top 6 skills that I feel like event planners should have. I'll link it above so you can watch it. I hope this video was helpful for you and it gave you some really good tips on how you can build your tribe. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell so you don't miss any time that I post. Like Savvy Social Events on Facebook, follow me on Instagram, and I'll see you in the next video.